Welcome back to the Bourbon and BS podcast. This is episode 340. I'm Steve Crane. Nate Hale is unfortunately unavailable this week. This is to my left, your right. Spencer Lappin is back in the garage.
Back in Ohio, baby.
I feel like you've been ignoring us.
It's not you, it's me, I guess.
It is you.
It is me.
It is very much you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I got married. You had a kid.
I got married and had a kid too.
You were on though, I think, after the wedding.
I was. We did not have a baby then. We do have a baby now.
You have a baby now. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Quite the journey for you guys, which is amazing. We're very happy for you. The whole community's happy for you. We'll have to post a picture of baby Leo on the community page smoking a cigar, right? That's cool. Lungs are strong now.
Yeah, his lungs are strong now. I can do cigars.
Good.
I will have to burn all these clothes by the time I get home tonight, but yeah, that'll work.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Before we get too far into the cigar and the whiskey tonight, we've got some special stuff for you guys tonight. I want to put up some of the banners here. I want to thank, obviously, you guys first. Patreon.com/Bourbon and BS podcast. That's where you guys can help us out, keep this thing going. Not making any money off of this. We just have fun with it. Hope you guys do too. And I know some of the cigar companies and whiskey companies enjoy us doing this and getting this stuff to you guys. Fun hanging out with people like Spencer and, of course, you guys on the feed. But also Venmo at Bourbon and BS if you want to throw a one-time contribution. But definitely helps us out, keep this thing going, pay for the streaming stuff, and some other things as we need it. I want to thank Tinder Box at Easton in Columbus, Ohio, kind of where we're based out of here. And then we've got tonight from them the Aganorsa Leaf Supreme Leaf. That is going to be the featured cigar tonight, and that's going to be a limited production. They do a form of this cigar about every year, so we'll get into that as well. But thank you, Tinder Box at Easton. You can find this cigar as well as some other Aganorsa Leaf cigars there at Tinder Box at Easton in Columbus, Ohio. Also coming up August 27th, we're going to have Kunal, who's been on the show before. He'll be there for an event, and it's going to be 2 Aganorsa Leaf cigars, and it's going to have 3 different Tullamore Dew samples as well. So tickets are available for that. If you guys are in the Columbus area, you can check that out. Altitus USA, you see the logos behind us for Altitus USA. We have a second cigar from them. Thank you for the continued support. It's going to be the H. Upman Nicaragua, made by AJ Fernandez for them. You can see all their logos: Monte Cristo, Romeo, Julieta, H. Upman, and Aging Room as well. And then also BS Cigar Company. Thank you very much for your support. Gold and silver are available. Gold's made by Plasencia, and the silver's made by Espinosa Cigars for us. And those are going to be all Nicaraguan blends, medium on the gold, and then fuller and peppery on the silver. So thank you, BS Cigar Company, for that. And swag, Spencer's going just kind of chic black tonight, which is nice.
Slimming.
It looks good. I have a not as slimming T-shirt on. Pour one more, light up another. We'll figure this out together. This is one of the podcast shirts. You can find it on buyjack.com/Bourbon and BS for any of the swag, including this shirt, different colors, and then some BS Cigar Company shirts as well. So check that out if you guys are interested. They will make the shirt for you, and they will ship it directly to you. So love that. Thank you, everyone at buyjack.com. And obviously, anytime you guys have any questions, put it on the comment feed. We are still predominantly on Facebook Live, but we're also on YouTube Live. So we try to monitor both of those things. So check us out on any of those formats. Instagram, we're not doing the live. It was only there for the moment for like an hour. So maybe we'll dive into that. I think StreamYard's got a better format with them. They keep progressing the options that they can do.
Good.
So hopefully we'll do that. So obviously, please share, like, and everything else with this program. I want to hear your comments on the Facebook feed, especially. We are drinking something tonight very special from Watershed Distillery. Thank you, everyone at Watershed. This is going to be something. I'll have to light up here soon. This is the OHLQ Single Barrel Joker's Wild. This is something you're enjoying right now. I have not sipped on it yet.
You're talking. I'm enjoying.
Well, you can go ahead and talk.
No, I like this. I think this is a great. You got it down. 340 episodes in. I like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about this, and then I'll get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Watershed. So this is for those hopefully that are in the area. They are able to get this information. This is an Ohio liquor single barrel pick. It's a program they did with Watershed. So this is available in Ohio only at this point. You may be able to. You have to be in Ohio, but you might be able to find it at Watershed Distillery at some point as well.
So this is in stores?
This is in the OHLQ store. So if you go on OHLQ.com, you will be able to find the different bottles. But this is something that you will see in the wild. And there are basically, it's like a royal flush. So you have a bottle with the 10 of spades, the jack, the queen, the king, and the ace. Then this is the bonus 6 bottle. This is going to be the Joker's Wild. So thank you again to Watershed for everyone doing that there. And Amy getting this bottle to us. We appreciate your guys' support. And hopefully you guys appreciate us being brutally honest with this. So this is from their press release. Kind of go over this here for you guys. This is, like I said, a collaboration where they picked this. Each of the 6 barrels, including this one, the Joker's Wild, it's been handpicked by an expert team for their distinct flavors and rich aromas. These unique expressions are unblended single barrels, highlighting the maturity and exceptional qualities of our Watershed bourbons. These bottles will be available at select liquor stores throughout the state beginning August 11th, with a full distribution expected by August 15th. So that's just coming up here this
So we got
weekend.
this early.
We got this early. It is Ohio limited, like I said, only in Ohio. And this is what I like about this Watershed coming out with these single barrels, and we'll go over the proof, but they are higher proofs. So the retail of this is going to be $59.99 plus tax only.
Not bad at all.
So I say only because a lot of these single barrel releases from a lot of the distilleries they're high. I mean, they're definitely higher priced, and sometimes rightfully so. But this is something you guys can collect, different ones, and there's different notes for all of them. This is going to be a 4-year aged bottle, char number 5, and the proof of this one's going to be 123.7. Yeah, as if it wasn't warm enough out here already. It is definitely up there. So they don't give us their tasting notes because they want to hear from us.
How am I supposed to know what I'm drinking without hints of cherry and vanilla?
I don't know.
Stone fruit and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. They don't want to promote the just notes there. They don't want to promote gambling, those types of things.
It's literally called a royal flush.
It's a friendly game.
Do we know why this one's called Joker?
I don't think there's any reason that they picked necessarily, to my knowledge. They picked per flavor, right? I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I'm looking at these here. They are all different. So this one, the Joker's Wild's coming in at, let's say, 61.85. Just to give you guys a little bit of a insight on the other options here, they kind of go up from there.
More higher?
Yeah. This is 61 point, round up to 9, 61.9. The 10 of spades is 65.7.
How high does it go?
And so this is the other thing I want to mention here for the information bogging you down with this. So this is the 4-year, right? This is where it's kind of cool. The 10 of spades is 65.7. It's also aged 6 years.
Okay. Different
mash bill, or maybe not different aging and proof here. The king of spades is 7 years and 66.8. So we're climbing up here a little bit. And then the queen, 7 years and 67.1, going back down a little bit. So it looks like.
And they're all $59.
They're all $59.99.
That's a pretty good deal.
King of spades, 66.6%, age 7 years, and the ace of spades, 7 years, and peaks on this one, 67.5% alcohol.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good.
It's really good.
So yeah, that's what we're drinking tonight, and we appreciate Watershed. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I was surprised that
I'm
we
gonna light up. So
do the cigar aspect of it too. Are you doing that one first?
I was, yeah.
Which one are we supposed to do
this
first?
One.
Oh, well,
I
you should
told
try
you.
this one. All right. Well,
Talk about the whiskey while you.
yeah, might as well talk about.
No
the
one
whiskey.
saw that.
So I was very pleasantly surprised that we are doing Watershed tonight, because I thought that we might be doing something not Watershed. But when you sent me a text earlier today, and I actually reshared this and had a buddy who had posted that he had tried something else from Watershed, maybe just picked it up. I'm guessing maybe some of the other ones came out over the last couple of
That's
days.
when he said he was excited about this. I don't know if it was the Joker
Might not be the Joker,
or yeah,
probably.
and I don't know what the distribution level is on this.
But they said it was nice but strong.
Nice but strong.
Yeah. We've had a lot of Watershed on this podcast.
Yeah.
They tend to be one of your go-to.
So they're friends of the show. They're local. We're really happy with what they've done over the years, to be honest. You know, when they first came out with their Watershed bourbon, they had a different mash bill. They were I'm not going to put words in their mouth, but it seemed as though they were trying to be different, with a different type of mash bill as opposed to your classic bourbon. I don't think it went over very well. It was like, oh, this is different. And then they changed how they were doing things, and they're continuing to do so.
I think everyone, myself included, had to get over the stigma that, hey, this is not made in Kentucky or Indiana. And it's made in Columbus, Ohio, but we can actually make bourbon as well once you get out of your own way.
You need time, right? You need time.
And you need time to develop it. I know that they had some other things first. This is great. For when you said 123, it'll put some more hair in your chest.
Hope my voice.
I don't think you can do much better price point wise than something $59 single barrel local, hard to get.
Right.
I thought it was going to be closer to the 89-ish range, 79, 89.
Right. Watershed's done also what I've found with a lot of the bigger, if you will, local distilleries, as they grow and they do different projects, they're possibly investing more. Like for this series, this is a 4-year, but you're looking at the other ones are 6 and 7 year old. So that adds to it. When you were sourcing stuff more, there's cost to that, which goes on to the end consumer. So you were seeing these like $100+ bottles coming out from local distilleries here in Columbus and elsewhere. And as they're growing, you're like, yeah, it's tough to find a bottle less than 90. They've barely done anything over $100 at all in the history of them.
I think, first off, presentation wise of the bottle itself, beautiful bottle. I like the fact that they're doing more collector's edition stuff, because that gives people a reason to go out and searching for this. The way I always look at when the proof is, if you had to have one bourbon or one drink at dinner, you'd go with but you wanted your money's worth out of it.
It's like a drink and a half, right?
Yeah. Back in the day, it'd be like Booker's.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's 80 degrees, muggy outside, things like this.
You want to keep it under 125 proof on a muggy
so
night.
They just got it there. What I like about this is it does initially burn the nostril a little bit.
The nostrils.
But it is smooth. It's got, for me at least, on the tip of the tongue, you can definitely feel the heat.
Yeah.
And then you feel it in the, what's this area called? Sternum? Hug area?
Coccyx, I think.
It's Cox area.
That is your sternum, yes.
That is a sternum.
Yeah.
But flavor-wise, this has a delicious, smooth flavor to it. Do you have any idea if it's more wheated, corn, anything along those lines?
If Ryan's listening out there, he was not able to make it tonight. He did comment. I don't know if he has a mash bill, if they're disclosing a mash bill. See if he will comment on that right there while we do it. But no, I don't. They didn't really say much about that.
Okay. So going in blind without the Rustin judge here, who normally helps me with my tasting notes and things like that, I think it is smooth for 123. Very smooth for 123. A little cinnamon. I also get some grape notes to it.
Honey. I'm getting honey.
Yeah, there's a sweetness to it.
Yeah, that's like
not dry, like sweet, but not. This is just a very pleasant bourbon for a sipper that we have to do.
I was thinking more like that honey on there, because I agree it's sweetness, but I can't tell. I get the cinnamon as well. It's something that, you know, when you said cinnamon, that's very prevalent after you say it. I should like it's,
but not spicy.
It's not spicy, so I didn't know if it was the heat and the heat outside, the mugginess, if that's what was like kind of hitting my tongue. But it is kind of more of a cinnamon burn, if you will. Like it's kind of like, you know, like not Big Red, but it does have cinnamon, a little bit of
jelly bean.
But it's kind of like that cinnamon. I keep going back to, like, it's like a breakfast, a cinnamon roll, but instead of just full-blown frosting, you add like a little bit of honey to it.
Okay. Hot honey.
Hot honey is the big thing.
Apple cinnamon Cheerio. You get any? I don't get much crispness.
No.
Crispness.
What was that?
Crispness.
I think you've had enough. I think
this is number one.
You haven't drank down in Florida, have you?
Not. I'm pretty sure it's all watered down. So I've been in Florida for the last 4 months, and Steve was like, "Oh, it's hot and muggy here." It's like there's a breeze. Florida's 95 and muggy. Yeah, this is actually extremely pleasant.
Yeah. We do have a mash bill. Let me put it up on the screen here. Thanks to Ryan, the inside man who couldn't be here tonight. So you got 72% corn, 21% rye, and 7% barley. And as he says, so technically a high rye mash bill.
Technically high rye mash bill. Do you get much rye?
No, but I'm glad Ryan's listening and commenting. So feel free, you know, Ryan, if you want to continue, that's great. It helps us out here. But I think with the higher rye, sometimes you get a little bit of that kind of spice to it, which may be what's bringing out that cinnamon kind of front to it. But man, it's got the cinnamon stays on the front of it, like middle of the front of my tongue,
top of the mouth.
Yeah, and then you after the fact, the finish is more like a faint cinnamon, but like more of that sweetness forward on the back of it. I think it's pretty
disappears,
cool.
But also lingers.
Yeah. It's a sipper for sure. I think when we get to a second glass, if we do here, I'm sure we will. We got some time here. I'm going to put a drop or two of water in there.
I was literally just going to say that. Yeah. Like maybe a drop of water would change it. But right now I don't want to change it.
No, I don't either. And I think part of the fun with it, if you are in Ohio, if you like Watershed, to your point, it is extremely nice to keep it's not inexpensive or cheap, but $59.99 if you walk into a store. But it's also great because there are other distilleries, local and otherwise, where it's like, hey, we're releasing these 5 bottles, and you want to support them. And you could even walk into a bottle shop and it's like, great, they have all 4 or 5 of these things and they're all 110 a piece. And you're like, bro, I can't justify, I want to support you, but I can't justify $500-$600 to buy everything.
Well, let me ask you something. When you do see something that's a single barrel, that's collector edition, that's not available all the time, do you try to hang on to it? Not open it, but do you try to, hey, I'm going to keep half a bottle so that I have this for other people to try, because
that's all I do.
6 months from now, they're not going to be able to have it.
So that's, especially with bottles from the podcast, this may turn into one of them where it's like, I'll get down to a certain point, and then like, I typically I'm drinking other stuff like daily sippers, like I get Sazerac rye, like those are my like dailies. I don't have the massive bourbon collection a lot of people do. What I do have,
you have more than last time I was at your house.
But what I do have is like I've got Jephthah Creed because they sent the podcast a couple bottles, so I've shared it with other people.
I gotta start a podcast. I gotta get some.
You should, man. If you've got,
let me know if you're interested in getting on one of these podcasts. If you get all this,
love to just be a guest on a podcast again. That was so nice when I was.
There is no pressure.
So nice. Someone else does everything else, and you just kind of come and they ask you questions.
It's nice.
It was maybe weird, but great.
Yeah,
no pressure.
It's like being a grandparent versus being like all the fun but none of the responsibility.
Sure. Yeah. Not that anyone's listening, anyways.
Yeah.
No, but I have like Jeff the Creed. I have a lot of different watersheds that have like are maybe a quarter bottle, and that is for like when you come over, you know, and other people. But you come over, you're like, do you have something for me to try? I haven't had. It's like, let me open up this, and it's because of the relationship, say, with Watershed. Jeff the Creed. I had some Echo Spirits. Those are some, like, not Jeff the Creed, but the other ones are local. When they're gone, they're gone. And I find it interesting because, like, when we had like Starlight Distillery on, really love their stuff. But again, they're coming with higher price tags. So when I go to the store and I see an OHLQ pick, or if I see a single barrel, or I'm hesitant sometimes based on my level of willingness to spend money on these bottles just to try them or to have them. I'm not a flipper. I'm not a collector. I like to have things that I enjoy, and I also like to have some things that I can share with others.
Yeah, unique.
But I'm also not going to drop $500 to $1,000, you know, a month or 2 months to have a collection of whiskey that it's like, oh, when we have people over, I have, you know,
you're not collecting Pokemon cards. You're not just trying to have a collection just to show to people.
Well, we're not talking about that. I may or may not.
Well, okay.
Pikachu, is that one? That's like the main one. That's where I
feel like you know.
All right.
Well, you had mentioned Starlight. You know, the thing I remember most about those guys, and I wasn't on their podcast, but I listened to it.
That one, yeah.
Well, you listen to it's the brothers and their story.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel about Watershed.
Yeah.
It's like they're local. You know the people. Some of the people have.
Slow down on that. That's crazy.
What, the bourbon?
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You're a professional.
Yeah. Okay. You hear that, Christian?
Semi-professional.
Good, Spencer, happy to have you on. You guys host the podcast.
I was told there'd be no.
Oh, that's for you to host the podcast.
Yeah. I was, you know, when I heard it was just going to be the two of us without Nate, you know, I was debating, like, can Kristen be on the podcast? Here, no, never mind.
No. I thought you guys had rehearsed this or something.
No. But what I like about these guys is that you know the people. Some of the people have changed over the years, but you know the distillery.
True. Yeah.
Is there something flavor profile wise that you would say, if I'm dealing with Watershed, these are types of things that I get from a bottle from them? I'm from Tennessee. I've never heard of Watershed before.
So when they first started, sure. That was the whole different mash bill. I don't think it was the most complimentary thing to be unique all the time in the bourbon world. There's a lot of different stuff. Ryan Venrick, who's with Watershed, been on the show before. They're younger 4 years. He's saying cinnamon is more prevalent.
Because younger, just in general?
Yeah, he says it's like kind of dissipates a little bit as they get older. So I'd be interested to try some of the other ones in this single barrel release. No, it's not necessarily overly cinnamony. It's just, I think they have a lot of different expressions. So like their 4-year blended, which is their base model, if you will, and then they have the bottle and pond, which will change a little bit. They try to keep it consistent.
Pretty consistent.
But I mean, just the fact that they take it from that 6-month period, you're going to have a little bit of differences there. And then they had the uncut, unfiltered, but every batch is a little bit different with a lot of those things. And they do a lot of single barrel stuff programs we'd love to do. We've talked to Ryan. Who knows? Maybe we can do it, a Bourbon and BS community barrel pick, which would be fun. But I mean, they have a lot of different things. And so I don't think there is, for me, this overwhelming Watershed has this overall profile.
That's where I was going with. I think they do a lot of different things.
But I think even places like Old Forester or, you know, some of the other big boys, you know, Buffalo Trace, like, I mean, I don't get the same things from a lot of their offerings. They offer enough
if this was
things.
Called something else besides Watershed, I think that, and it was $100 or, you know, $120, we'd go, yeah, that sounds about right. That's a great bourbon from XYZ single barrel pick, you know, something really special. So when I saw that you had a single barrel from them, I was excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, it's nice to have that right in our backyard, obviously. And I think they're growing a big time following. I've seen Watershed, some of their core products.
Nate's a fan.
In Chicago. I've seen them there. So they're branching out further and further. I don't know how many states they're in, but I mean, it is something that you will see elsewhere, not just in the state of Ohio. So they definitely, and Watershed, I forget who, but they did actually get acquired by a larger company recently. and they've almost doubled their warehouse space, if not more than.
Everything's in Columbus, or they warehouse stuff.
It's all in Grandview. Yeah, Columbus area.
So we're not buying it from anyone else.
There?
I have.
Okay. Have you had a tour?
No.
All right. Well, we'll hook that up here soon, because they just kind of pushed into their neighbor's warehouse because they weren't really using it, I guess. The landlord basically was like, yeah, go ahead and take it. So they are doing a big thing. Ryan's doing a lot of cool things with a slower water release to the bourbon barrels. We'll have to have him on. No, we'll talk about it if we can get him back on. As things, they're really busy with this release and some other things. The fall finishing series is coming up again.
Probably taking them for fucking ever with the slow release of the water.
It makes a difference.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll have to have a before and after. And Ryan says, "Come on over, Spencer."
All right, all in Tangy River. I'll take it. In. And
they got a great restaurant too. So.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right, enough fluffing them up.
All right, like I tell you what I really think about this.
Let me turn off the camera. Go ahead. That light means it's not recording.
I would say congratulations to them on a great bourbon. Glad to try something new, and it's very cool to have it before it comes out, because I'm sure over the next few days people are going to try this stuff.
So one of the other things I like that they do, they work with, I believe, a local wood artist, if you will, or machinist here. So this is something they sent with this. They always have some crazy cool ideas, like they had when they did the port wine finished fall finishing last year. They did like a small charcuterie board with that.
I've been begging. How many times have I've been on the podcast 30 times? I've asked for charcuterie. Every single, like a little meat and cheese would be wonderful.
This is a cool decorative deck of cards holder, if you will.
It's just a fucking deck of cards.
This is the holder.
I know. Why are you showing the cards?
This whole theme, man. Jesus. You not get it?
I get it.
It's art.
It's a cool case.
It's art. Get it? Very cool. Not just cool. They can't even see it because of the banner.
Nice.
Yeah. It's there, I promise. No, there you go. There you go. We need a better producer over here. We are smoking tonight the Aganorsa Leaf Supreme Leaf. This is a very cool project from Aganorsa Leaf. Aganorsa Leaf's based out of Nicaragua. Go ahead.
Love a box press.
Love a box press. This one, they do a different size every time they release it. Different vitola, if you will, different size and shape. And this is their Gran Toro. This is a 6x56. They also released this last year, a shorter figurado of this blend. Last release was a petite. It's a Rothschild. It was like a 4.5 inch by 50 or so.
Why?
They just do it differently every year. Okay. It's something that I think they look forward to. So this cigar, it's all Nicaraguan. It's going to be their Corojo wrapper leaf, and then different Nicaraguan filler and binder that they do. But this is a medium plus cigar. I should ask you. Very rich.
Just a perfect burn.
Perfect burn, perfect construction. They only do 3,000 boxes of this size in particular, 3,000 boxes of 10. So they only did 30,000 cigars of this particular release. They'll do it again. I think I don't know if they did 2024, maybe it was 2023, but like they try to do it about once a year. This time they did 2 Vitola release. And I'm loving this because I did smoke the Rothschild, and it was one of those things where it wasn't super pricey, but it was something where it's like you release a special cigar. I like the blend, and then it's a 40-minute smoke. Like, can we get a different size?
From like the gambling, like, you know who I'm talking about? Rothschild?
Yeah.
Is that who it's named after?
I should know this. I knew it. Let me look it up here for you. But it's Rothschild.
No, it might be someone else. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Cuba and casinos and all that type of stuff. That guy.
No, it's European.
Okay.
Watch out, cigar. Everyone else out there can do this too.
What does a cigar run per stick?
You're in the ballpark of $17.
So when I was first off, the prices of cigars in
There you go.
Ohio, I think, are more fair than Florida. I don't know why.
Really?
I think so.
I
By
think
a couple of dollars.
Partly be the lounge aspect of it. They might be charging more.
Yeah, because you can drink in their
So lounge
lounges.
aspect, because Florida has a 0% tobacco tax.
Okay, so they can charge whatever they want.
I'm not going to speak for them, but I would imagine that they do add a little bit to it for the lounge atmosphere.
But there seemed to be a lot of jumps between 15 to 25. There didn't seem to be a lot of $17 to $19 cigars. So I like the price point, actually, because you're going to get a quality cigar that's not a $12 cigar, but you also don't have to spend $25 on it.
Right.
Yeah. What are the colors do they represent? Do you know?
No, there's nothing I think it doesn't represent anything specifically. What they did do on this one, and I wish I had the previous iterations of this, and actually the shorter figurado, they did not do this, but they updated this. This used to, and I was very confused by that Rothschild that we had. The band, so you've got the yellow, the purple, the orange. Is that purple, right?
That's purple.
Yeah. And you have the gold leaf on some of the coins on the side, and then obviously on their newer logo over the last 5-6 years, you're going to have that arm holding the tobacco there. They call that, I think, the Aganorsa Flex because of the way it looks. This was a very flat, no embossment, no shine to it at all. No, like you almost see like the cardstock texture on the band there. Yeah. It's like a nice, almost like money stock, almost, you know what I mean? Like it's thick. The last ones, including this is the first time they did this particular band. They updated it, and it was a great move because it was a very kind of plain, same color scheme, but it almost looked like you could print it off at home. It was very, very plain, almost boring. They added depth to it. They updated this. They updated the boxes. It's just a great. I think it's finally matched that, because that was, I think, part of the concern when you're looking at a Rothschild 4.5 or whatever inch cigar, and it's got, say, a $13 price tag or a $14 price tag on something that's shorter and
better
everything,
pop.
And then it's got this really flat band on it. You're like, what's the deal with this? And they're like, oh, it's limited and everything like that. It's like, they not like it.
You know, that's like the STE cigar that you guys had at the event, where it's like, hey, it's a smaller smoke, but it's plain label, but it's a good fucking cigar though. We
did that intentionally. So he's talking about the Smoking 10 event, which is at Tinder Box at Easton, Columbus, Ohio, in every March. We'll have it again March 15th this year. But we did something special with Eric Espinosa and then Hector Alfonso, who's been on the show from Espinosa Cigars. We did a blend. We bought a certain amount of them. I think it was 1,000.
Great cigar.
And it's like, what do you want a BS band on it? And we're like, no. And let's do just a prototype, normal, like white and black, your prototype thing where it has a description. And I said, put STE 2025. And yeah, exactly right. It was a prototype that everyone seemed to like. It was a bold cigar, great construction, Robusto size. They always do that. And it was a box press of 5x50. It was a great cigar. Get any notes from this? Are you a notes guy on cigars?
I'll be a notes guy on, even though it is medium plus, mm-hmm. it doesn't kick. Mm-hmm. So I don't know the difference, white pepper, black pepper, things like that. It's also a little difficult for me to fully embrace all the notes on this based on the booze. Mm-hmm. But I'd say more than the notes, I get the beautiful construction, as you can see how it burns. And then also just the smoothness of the draw. Mm-hmm. And then not as much smoke as I thought I would get out of it. Just
smoke through the draw, or
smoke through the draw,
billowing off of it.
Billowing. I'd say a little bit of both. But, using your expertise, what notes are you getting from this, Mr. Crane?
I know it sounds silly when I say this, but it's like a woody spice, like a woodiness and a spice to it.
More rustic.
A little bit. And this is something you wouldn't put necessarily on the brochure, but there is a slight tartness to it.
Where do you get that tartness?
It's like right not the tip of your tongue, right behind the tip of your tongue. I've got I say tartness because it's not like sour. It's not
bright.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's a brightness to
something
it.
there. What do you?
Well, that's what I was asking
Do you
about.
get it the same place? Like
I didn't want to say citrus. I didn't know if the orange meant any
So,
citrusy or stuff like that, but that's kind of where I was thinking.
yeah,
a
so
little
I'm
bit.
kind of on the same page as you. It's like this like little citrus tartness to it. You know what I mean? But it's subtle, but it does add to the complexity of it, I think.
You know, what's this brand? Do they come out with a lot of special releases?
They have, and then they've turned it into more regular releases. So they used to do an Anniversario. I think that started in 2014, and they started with their Corojo. They're really well known for their Corojo wrapper leaf. Aganorsa Leaf, they basically are one of the major growers in Nicaragua. They sell, I think, about 85% of their tobacco to other companies. They also roll some cigars for other companies. They have a major farming, agricultural business down there, including tobacco. The Anniversario, they had a Corojo, then they expanded it to different sizes, kind of similar to this, and then they added to it a Maduro and a Connecticut, and now those are regular release cigars. So they're regularly available. They also do something called the Rare Leaf. This is the Supreme Leaf. So they do a Rare Leaf. The Rare Leaf, you have to be a qualified retailer. So you spend enough, basically, right? You carry enough of their products and you spend enough with them. Then you have the opportunity to carry the Rare Leaf. And that's something that is rare. But that is... again, somewhat regular release cigar. It's just not available.
How would you, I mean, it's a great cigar. Someone walks into the shop and how would you point them towards this cigar? I guess is the question I'm asking for.
How would you what?
How would you direct somebody to this cigar who did not know much about this company or this particular cigar? Because for me, it's between the middle and high end.
Yeah.
If someone likes a box press, they're going to like it. Beautiful logo.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out the differentiation between this and the 100 other cigars you got in there. Why someone, I've never heard of this limited release. Mm-hmm. Or do you point this to someone like, hey, I kind of know your profile and this is one of the limited releases. So this is why you might want to try this.
I think, you know, if someone's trying something new, they're looking for medium body. I think introducing yourself to Aganorsa Leaf, there is a story. They have rebranded years ago as Tropical Tobacco. Then it was Casa Fernandez. Then AJ Fernandez got so big that they wanted to go ahead. And differentiate themselves. So they rebranded to Aganorsa Leaf, which is kind of the parent company, Aganorsa. I don't remember everything that the Aganorsa stands for, but it is... the AG is agriculture, right? So it stands for something there. So like their Corojo and even their Habano, they're medium body, but the Corojo is what they're known for. So I would recommend someone to look at their Corojo original, like the Validation series. We've done it on here. And then if they are interested in trying something, hey, you got anything new, anything limited, anything like that, you point them this way. But if you tried some Aganorsa Leaf stuff, or you like Corojo, hey, I like Corojo, I like medium body, maybe medium plus, got this one here. This is easier to sell at $18, $17, whatever, than it was the smaller Rothschild. Because again, you're looking most of the time, buyers are going to be
and name brand
more willing to spend $17, $18 on a cigar they don't necessarily know, but it is limited. It's, you know, you explain it to them, as they are like 15 on a shorter cigar. It's just the value of the money is the way they look at it. And that's part of the cigar industry, I think.
I really enjoy the cigar. I really do. I don't know what the main difference is between this and the Corojo, but if typically when I go someplace, I like the Nicaraguan tobacco just in general. You kind of know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
I feel like this is consistent with a higher end cigar.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, it's just a little difficult with the booze going back and forth to truly kind of just taste this one on its own.
Yeah, I'm kind of sticking with a cigar for the while, and I think a couple sips of the whiskey.
Okay.
It's richer, and it's as
Yeah.
you smoke this, I think it does build a little bit for you. There's a lot going on. To your point, the construction on this, I've smoked a handful of these, and the construction has been fantastic.
Flawless.
Yeah, it really is, and I think they do that intentionally. Aganorsa Leaf, they'll tell you if you talk to them about it. Most companies are doing it now, but especially I call it the premium cigars, whatever. They're doing the into bottle filler technique as opposed to the accordion, if you're familiar with that.
I'm not.
So the two major ways of doing this. I don't know why Ray Chester can't find us. I sent him a link. That's a good time to mow your lawn. It's getting dark. Entubado. So accordion is taking the leaves. So you have the filler leaves, and you really you push them together. You bunch it like this. Take another one, bunch it. You get that, right? You get the certain different leaves that you typically have in the filler, what your recipe is, and that's when you then would put a binder leaf on it. Entubado technique is you take a filler leaf and then you roll that. Take next filler leaf, you roll that, then you're bunching those together. It's like a bunch of different little straws. So it should help the draw, because as you bunch it in an accordion style, you'll have potential to have some of those. They'll still burn, but there's not as much airflow coming through there. So
that's what I've noticed is the draw on this is just seamless.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I think you got some of and they usually on some of these will have their better rollers doing it as well, right? They had a Miami factory. Now it's just all back in Nicaragua, which is their biggest factory, but they don't do a whole lot out of the smaller Miami factory.
Have
anymore.
any of the tariffs affected the cigar prices from different countries?
They are starting to. Some of the companies have put in a line item with just like a tariff charge, if you will. Some people are adding it to, or some companies are adding it to the price per cigar, and some people are just doing a percentage increase on it. And now that you're past the 90 days that the federal government had on kind of a hold, now it's 10% for Honduras, 10% Dominican, and 18% on Nicaragua. So Aganorsa Leaf, for example, is one that they held out.
Okay.
And we just received notice that since they're going forward with it, as of now, they're going to be adding a price increase because of it.
All right.
And it's not as, I'm not going to get down that rabbit hole a whole lot.
I get it. It's every product.
It's not just strictly like, you're going to see an 18% increase. You will see an increase, but it's on kind of the price of the goods themselves. It's not like a straight wholesale price.
It's like 9 to 12 or
yeah, it's not what
someone's taking a hit.
Most people think it is. Yeah. I'm trying to help Ray out here. Can't get him on the page. He's a big listener for us. But send him the link. I don't know what's going on with this thing. We'll try to do that maybe here at a quick intermission here if we do one. Let's do round out part one. If you guys haven't listened to us before, this is where we do the rating. This is going to be a out of 10 rating on the whiskey, on the cigar, and the pairing. So we do 3 of these, and I'll go with you, Spencer. Let's start with the whiskey here.
Whiskey, I might go with. It's tough because you're grading it on a few different levels. You're grading it on, or I'm grading it on price point, local, proof, uniqueness. I'm going to go 8.5.
Okay.
So to get a 123 proof bottle, 8.5, single barrel from a local distillery that we like to support, so we are a little biased towards it.
Sure.
I'm going to go 8.5. On the cigar, I'm going to go a 8.25.
Okay.
I really enjoy the construction. I enjoy the draw. I really think aesthetically it's a beautiful cigar. Price point wise, $17. Doable. You don't have to spend the 25 to get the luxury style.
Right.
And then combo wise, and I might just because we haven't done this in a while, just be a little off on the combo of the two. But I think it's just tough to pair anything with a 123
Yeah.
personally.
See that?
But I'm still going to do probably an 8 on the combo because I do like the cigar itself. I do like the bourbon. And if you do go back and forth, I'm sure as we get to the second glass or third or fourth glass that it'll kind of mellow out a little bit. So 8 on the combo.
8 on the combo. That sounds like Ray has found it. I'm sorry. 8.5, 8.25. Now I got to go back to this so I can see it again. You know, you try to help out your listeners the best you can, which is nice, you know.
When I did the Smart List podcast, they didn't have this type of issues.
You were never on that.
Me, Arnett, Bateman.
It's a great time. Great time.
And Sean Hayes go way back.
Whiskey, I'm at 8.5 as well.
Okay.
I think this is a fun bottle. I think it's very cool. You can't get too excited about a limited release just for the simple fact that you can't get it again. But I think this is a great one. What this does, drinking the Joker's Wild with a 4-year expression, with that mash bill, with the proof, it definitely entices me to do the search and hopefully find a couple of the other bottles maybe out there, right? More age on them, different proofs, possibly. I don't know if there are different mash bills, but you're certainly going to get some different notes, different flavors from them.
And
so,
especially if that cinnamon goes away a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, mellow out.
Yeah.
I do suggest adding a drop to the next one.
I'm going to.
It's good.
Take away the cinnamon a little bit.
No, it just mellows out the whole thing.
Okay.
I like the cinnamon, just a little smoother.
Okay.
It's much more of a pounder than a sipper.
Perfect.
You know what I'm talking
That's
about.
exactly what we need. Aganorsa Leaf, Supreme Leaf, I'm going to give it I'll give it an 8.5 as well. I think I really enjoy this. The last Vitola, when it was smaller, I would take away, if we were grading that, I would take away at least a half a point for the size. Like, why'd you go so small on something that's very good? Yeah. I think this is a perfect size for it. You get your money's worth. You enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it longer. It burns slow. This is a nice long cigar as far as the burn time. And the pairing, I'm 8.5 across the board. I think this is good. I think they stand up to each other. I think complement each other. I don't know, but they're both enjoyable individually, and they're both enjoyable together for me. So I would definitely do this pairing again, and I am interested as we roll into part 2 of this is that I will pour another glass and I'll put a couple drops in, and it might even be better.
I got a buddy who's in Punta Cana right now with his girlfriend.
Is that nice there? Would you recommend it?
You'll go there one day. But he showed me the cigar that he's smoking with his non-cigar smoking girlfriend.
Yeah. And
it is one of the footlongs, I believe.
Okay.
He's like 2.5 hour burn. I go, great. What is she going to be doing the entire time while you're smoking that 2.5 hour cigar?
Right, exactly. She'll find something to do. Are they at a resort?
Yeah, all inclusive.
She'll be fine.
Send me pictures.
Yeah,
they do.
What's the resort?
I'll add you to the text chain.
We have our opinions of certain resorts there. All good. Excellence brand. Highly recommend it.
If we could get them as a sponsor.
We're going to do a podcast from Punta Cana. Coming to you live at the beach. Just a lobby bar and just doing that. Like, what are those guys doing? I don't know. We told them to leave a long time ago.
It says no smoking there. I don't. No habla.
No smoking what? Yeah, so part 1, guys, that wraps it up. Thank you very much. Again, with the Watershed Distillery, Ace of Spades, I think it was, or I forget exactly what they call it, but you've got the Ace of Spades, the King, the Queen, the Jack, the 10, and the Joker's Wild bottles are out in the wild now, and they're going to be a wider release on the 15th. So is that today, the 13th, right? Yeah, so 2 days from now, so Friday, you're going to see a wide release in Ohio. If you guys are local, check them out. Definitely, we love the product. And like I said, this is going to lead us to definitely want to try some of the other single barrel releases from the OHLQ picks.
Well done by Watershed.
Absolutely. And thank you to Aganorsa Leaf for supporting the podcast as well. We'll get Kunal on soon. Tinder Box at Easton, like I said, they will have an event in Columbus, Ohio at Easton Town Center at the store right next door at Fidel Irish Pub and Restaurant. and we're going to be having 2 Aganorsa Leaf cigars, and you're going to have 3 different samples of Tullamore Dew. It's Tullamore Dew 12, and Tullamore Dew Cider Cask, which is on its way out. So definitely something that is unique. So definitely check that out. $40 for that. Extended happy hour prices at Fidel for the event, and we're hoping for good weather, obviously. Other than that, cheers. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. Stay tuned. We might take a quick intermission, and it's an empty glass. Got to pour it. Not doing it. Might take a. It's a rookie move. Just pour it. I gotta wrap it up here. Don't get upset. Part 2, we're going to be talking. Oh, it's called the Royal Flush. Ryan says. Oh, thanks. We're going to be looking to you guys for comments to bring this conversation to a fuller circle. But the topic in part 2, give you guys a little preview. Be an adult. That's right.
Whoa.
Cheers. Happy Whiskey Wednesday.
Happy Whiskey Wednesday.
See you in part 2, guys. Staying live. I don't want Ray to have to find another episode, you know what I mean? So we're just going to keep streaming.
Sounds good. What do you really think about the bourbon and cigar?
It's terrible. They are. Oh, shit, we're live. No.
It's good, man.
I'm just roll into it.
Got pee?
No.
Might be.
Sure. We'll be right back. We're going to go off stage for just about, what do you need? About 5 minutes?
5 to 15.
5 to 15. All right. Be right back, guys. All right, we're back.
Yo.
Welcome back to the Bourbon and BS podcast. This is episode 340, part 2.
Oh my God, so many.
I just wrapped up part 1. Check it out. If you guys are listening to the audio, make sure you check back and listen to that. We got some geese flying by, dogs getting walked, mowing the lawn out here. We were blessed. The topic tonight is being an adult. I don't know if you can see this here on the screen.
Lift it up.
I mean,
you can do it.
We got charcuterie board. I mentioned in the first part that with the port barrel fall finishing last year that they did a small charcuterie board. So that Kristen said, did someone say charcuterie board? And there we have one.
She's a keeper.
She is a keeper.
Yeah.
For not just that reason. Come on. It doesn't hurt.
It's one of the reasons.
One of many reasons. No, amazing. So the topic tonight for part 2 is being an adult. Spencer and I were talking. We were trying to figure out a topic for tonight. And since Spencer and I saw each other in person, did a little FaceTiming and some calls here and there, texting, obviously. A lot has changed. I got married. We talked about that on the podcast recently a little bit. So big life changes in the last year for me with selling a house, buying a house, getting married. It's just been fantastic. Everything kind of, coming up Millhouse, you know what I mean? It's a Simpsons thing.
No, I know who Millhouse is.
And since I've seen Spencer, what's been happening?
I've become an adult.
Went through puberty.
So we got married in late December. Told the wedding party the night of our rehearsal that we were pregnant. We went down to visit my parents in Florida. They're down in the Delray Beach area, which is a little bit by Fort Lauderdale. And flying to Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, about half hour, 45 minutes away from there.
Yep.
They're snowbirds. So we were doing kind of our last little trip, say hi to the parents before.
And when was this?
This was in the beginning of April.
Okay.
All right. So we maybe did the podcast in March-ish. I think maybe last time I was on it, maybe.
Sounds right. Yeah. I mean, it was you said it was April. So yeah, it was about a month or so beforehand, I'd
March
say.
Was maybe late February, but probably March sounds about right. We were 24 weeks pregnant. We were having a lovely little brunch with my parents at their club, and my wife thought that she had peed a little bit. Not uncommon. I thought I had peed a little bit.
Well, you're a funny guy. You probably said a joke.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, said something. Turned out to be a little bit more than pee. Rushed to the hospital just because we didn't know what was going on. We chat GBT'd it. They said it could be a water broke.
Now the robots know.
And so ChatGPT said, go to the nearest NICU, not emergency room, the closest NICU ASAP, 24 weeks pregnant. We go there, and 24 weeks, full-term baby is 39 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they say, your water broke. We are in Florida. We live in Columbus, Ohio. And they said, you are not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. You are going to be in this hospital for at least the next 10 to 12 weeks in Florida, in the hospital, or until she gives birth.
Wow.
So that changed our vacation a little bit. Extended it.
Yeah.
So a few days, we were in the hospital for a handful of days. And then my wife went into labor right before 25 weeks. Had a baby boy right before 25 weeks. He was 1 pound and 13 ounces. So little guy, 1 pound, 13 ounces. So his name is Leo Gavin Lappin. So we have a new addition to the podcast.
He's right here.
He's right here. This is his first cigar. And we were in the NICU for, I think, 118 days. Jeez. Which is days were long, weeks went quick, but I was working full time from Florida. My wife was in the hospital, 8 plus hours a day.
Yeah.
Just kind of sitting with him. Ups and downs. I'll tell you, anyone who's been in NICU, it's a roller coaster, and that it definitely was. He went through ups and downs in there. And then last Saturday, so a handful of days ago, we got back to Columbus, Ohio, around like 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday night. And we brought home a 9-pound, 6-ounce healthy baby boy after 4 months of being in the hospital, trying to nurse that kid back to health. And now we have a healthy baby boy at home.
That is amazing.
That is amazing. So this is my first night out since that.
I said, hey, you're back, right?
Can you do the podcast?
I should have sent a text to Jen.
I asked her, I said, let me check with her real quick.
I thought it was going to be a no for sure. Ray says, wow, 1 pound, a proper fighter. Congratulations to both of you.
So he is definitely a fighter, definitely feisty, but we really can't thank everyone enough at West Boca Hospital for taking care of him and for delivering us a healthy baby boy by the time we got out of there. My wife was a saint and a fighter and a warrior, and they say the biggest decision you can make in life is who you pick to be your partner. And I think we both got very, very lucky in the decisions that we've made to get married to our partners over the last few months.
You and I, for sure. I mean, and lucky for us. And I say this also because I had a conversation, and I'm not going to get into it, but it's like one of those things where there's no taking away from, Jen or Kristen. It's like when everyone's like, oh man, you're a lucky guy and all that stuff. And it's like, absolutely. I think part of the luck is also that they find the value in you. And I'm not trying to be that, narcissist or anything like that. It's not about you and I, but it's like the reason that it works, the reason that, when you say you picked a good partner is that there is a mutual respect. There's a mutual desire to be with that person and to support that person. It's so often that, there's a look at it where it's like, oh, well, like you lucked out. And it's like, well, yeah, I did. Part of the reason is that we were a good match.
And you don't always know that until you go through tough shit.
You don't.
Well, I mean, we've been through our tough shit over the past, few years,
Sure.
But when you go through tough shit together, whether it's, having a little one earlier, the wedding planning or dealing with family or friends or the million different things.
Yeah.
But when you get through the tough stuff together, it does bring a whole new level of stuff to the relationship.
Yeah. I think the topic of being an adult, it's not necessarily calling anyone out specifically of not being an adult, but
can you
what?
Call someone out specifically?
I don't think so.
Okay. Let me know.
No, I think, everyone has a different path. And so it's like, it's how you handle certain things, but it's a lot of the common themes that we've done. This is episode 340. We've done a lot of common themes, I think, over the years where it's about things like communication. It's expressing yourself in that communication. It's making your opinion and your feelings known. It's getting up and going to work. Sometimes you don't like it, but it doesn't mean that that is everyone else's problem. There's a lot of those situational factors that when you're an adult and you have the financial responsibilities, you, Spencer, you and Jen, now you have another person to take care of
forever.
And I'm not saying that that problems don't arise. I'm not saying that some obstacles you feel like I'm divorced, Kristen's divorced, you're divorced and happily remarried. I'm happily remarried. My ex is happily remarried. I mean, like, it's one of those things that it's not always an end all be all for the rest of your life. When these things happen, you want to learn from these experiences and keep moving forward. I think too often you get so bogged down, and I've been there. I know you've been a part of my life for some of these things. When we first met, I had been fired for the first time after over 10 years with a company, and it was out of nowhere in a sense. And we've talked about that on the podcast. And so you struggle sometimes to pick yourself up and keep going. But I've seen people do the opposite. They don't necessarily address things head on the best they can. I think sometimes it's more of they try to blame other things or other factors, other people. It's not their fault. They're upset with it. They get kind of in a spiral. They get a little quicksand. They get all, like these situations where they get sucked in by what has happened. And I'm not saying that's not being an adult. I'm just saying when I say being an adult like this for the topic, it's the best you can with what you have. You do your best. Like you give the strongest effort you can to keep moving forward in a sense.
When you get put into a situation that you're not expecting, and we were not expecting this, and obviously no one is. But when you get put into a situation, there's a couple different ways to go about it. For better or worse, you find out who someone is and who you are. And from what I've learned of being in a very tough situation is you just do it. You just go. You put your head down.
Those are new Nikes I see you're wearing.
These Nikes have been walked around all of Florida.
Just doing it.
Yeah. You tackle it. And sometimes, and when it's, the seriousness of it's beyond you, it's about someone else. It's about, my kid who couldn't do it for himself. So you do it for him, is you got no other choice but to just go. And sometimes it puts things into perspective real quick, puts stuff into, the little stuff, the work stuff, the tiny stuff. It just doesn't matter as much, but it also put things into that when you do have something like this, you realize who's there for you in a good way. Mm-hmm. And overall, we've realized that people in general are good.
Through this experience specifically.
There's obviously assholes out there and social media and all that stuff.
Sure.
But you realize, when you're in a bubble, when you're in in the tornado, you realize that, the general human population, or at least the people that we've decided to surround ourselves with and people like that, are genuine good people. You and Kristen, called, text, sent crumble cookies, sent, clothes, gift cards, all that type of stuff, along with other people. But you realize that, you're not in this world by yourself.
Yeah.
And to have that family outside of your current family, which is sometimes better, different than your current family.
Sure. It's definitely different a lot of times.
It's different. But it gave us a big faith in humanity in general.
It's nice. I like that.
Yeah, it is nice. But being an adult, you're setting up, or I'm setting up, earlier today, yesterday, setting up wills, setting up trusts, setting up 529 plans, putting more money away towards that. All this stuff that, our parents did for us.
Yeah.
And no one ever tells you, hey, you're an adult. Like, you think you're an adult at 24, 25,
back when I went to college, I thought I was an adult.
You thought you're
17 years old.
Yeah. You're 18, you can, you're technically an adult. And you just kind of try to figure it out because everyone else did. And, we're not the first people to have a kid, Nick. You were definitely not the first people to have a kid. And you realize, hey, man, everyone else can do it. You can do it too.
Yeah.
And, you just do. And I think, my mentality has always been just kind of put your head down and just kind of go through it. And I think for me, having that mentality of you just put your head down and you just try to make the best decisions, and you try to make a shitty situation the best out of a situation. Yeah. And now that we're home, 4 months is a long ass time.
Yeah, it really is. And especially with that high stress, situation, you can't put yourself in your shoes. You try to, right? This is something that everyone goes through, different battles and struggles. And that's something that for you guys, people are there for you. I know some of your family was back and forth, obviously trying to visit and support you, but it's not anything that you try to talk to people going through situations in life. And I'm guilty of this, where you try to relate, you try to give experiences from your life. Sometimes it's interesting that you bring this up when you talk about like how Kristen and I think I sent one of the first or second like gifts to you guys off of your Amazon or whatever. I think I saw the hat, it was embroidered or whatever. That was early. That was not out of character, but it was like normally that's Kristen's thing. She's so thoughtful. She said, like,
I thought it came from. I still do think it came from Kristen. For the record.
Ask her, yeah. That one was actually me.
And we had that blanket that you guys had us on his isolette, and it was like, hey man, like our friends got us.
My point is that I talked to her about it, but it was something that when you're going through that, all the conversations. It's interesting, your experience going through it, and your experiences here. As you become an adult, I feel like you should try to take the lessons from that more. We spoke, you and I, just individually, not with the group text with Kristen and Jen, several times. I don't know if I've picked it up from you more, if it's just trying to be more empathetic, but it was one of those things like, maybe for the first time in my life, I wasn't like, well, one time I was going through this. It was literally just like, how you doing? Yeah, I know it's tough. Like, what do you need? All that stuff. It was me, I think, growing as a person as well. And Kristen grew up as a person in that regards way before I met her, where she is very selfless. She does these things with no intention of getting thanks or gratitude or anything like that.
Selfless.
That's very selfless. And seeing you guys go through that's a growing moment for people around you, learning from you, being there for you, but not trying to fix it, not trying to just flat out tell you that it's going to be okay, you're going to be good, like that. And that's always good to give it the attaboys, right? There's always that part of it that you want to be like, hey man, it's going to be okay, keep your head up and all this stuff. But the reality is that at a lot of those stages, and Jen, I think, did most of the Carrying Bridge stuff. That was all her.
That was all her.
She posted on this website and shared it to the family and friends, and we read all of those. Very well written. That should be put into a book at some point if it's not the plan. That would be an amazing book for people to read, just to see that journey and then kind of integrate that. But it was something that we kind of learned through it. There were a lot of points of that in that journey so far that you want to say, hey, it's going to be okay. You're not lying to the person. You're not lying to you and Jen, but it's like, I never said it's like, it may not be, because I already know.
Yeah, you don't know.
And reading those journal entries that she did on there, the reason I say that should be something that she should publish at some point is not necessarily for financial gain. I'm saying it's something that it was very impactful, very well written, very honest, and always with an undertone, at the very least, of positivity. It was never, oh my God, I'm so scared, this is the end. It was like, we've got an obstacle and this is what our hope is. And that was super inspirational, very powerful to read those things. And when talking to you guys, that made it easier to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
honestly.
No, I agree.
Because a lot of people, and that's the whole thing with like being an adult, like that's one of those things that I struggle with people, some people in my life, and I see around me, is that it's just the negativity. It's just,
woe is me.
Woe is me. We have I had a couple like customers come in, and I'm not even making it up, and they're not even trying to be funny. It's like, oh yeah, well, how you doing this morning? It's like, yeah, man, it's sunny out. And like, you're like, first time he said that, I'm like, yeah, it's great. He's like, I don't know, I kind of wish it would rain. I'm like, so now I took it to the point, I'm like, I won't say his name, but I'm like, do you have a house? Do you mow your lawn? Like, do you like what? He's like, no. I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I just want to be able to mow my lawn when it's dry. Like, I don't want rain.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the sunshine. Yeah, it's a little hot, muggy, whatever. But it's like, can we, like, what? Like, you want to be like, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be this Eeyore type of a character in the story where it's like, man, it's hot today. It's sunny. It's like, do you need me to buy you sunglasses? Is your air conditioning not working? He's like, no, it's working just fine. I have sunglasses. I'm like, the fuck is your problem, dude?
Well, there is definitely that thing of you never know what someone else is going through.
Sure.
Right. And so, be nice to everybody because everyone's got their own struggle and whatever. Yeah. And that's, I never wanted, the pity. My wife did because it helps with the I want people because what we're going through is fucking tough.
I never got that though.
No,
I never got that from her or you. It was never a pity thing. No. That's why I said at the very least, there was the undertones of the message was positivity.
But sometimes, we always talk about in the relationship, like, what are you trying to fix it? Are you trying to do you want me to fix the problem? Do you want me just to listen to it? And I think through this, and when you go through stuff, it's, you might not be able to relate. Everyone's gone through different stuff and sickness and, family and, family members that haven't gone, the way that you want them to go, and family members that passed away and all that stuff. But if you can just be there for somebody when trials and tribulations happen, that goes a long way. Just to kind of just be there for somebody is what I've noticed. Like, hey, when you post something on Facebook or Instagram and you get the like, or you get that, sometimes you just kind of browse over and things like that. But sometimes those type of things, like, hey man, that person took, 2 seconds out of their day to acknowledge me. So that person, even though I don't see them or talk to them, it's nice to know that, they're part of our journey, part of our life.
Yeah.
But it made us be adults real quick. I mean, she went from a, single girl enjoying life in the short north to met me.
About Lowe's.
House kid. Good for her. Good for her. Happy for her. But in 4 months, we've been married for, I think now it's like 8 months or so.
Yeah.
And now, it feels more like 8 years, not in a bad way, but when you're put through that, when you're put through the wedding planning stage,
sure,
which is a whole thing, that brings people closer. And then when you're through whatever the next obstacle is, that brings you closer too.
Yeah. I mean, the life changes that you go through with someone. It's how you handle the different stages of it all. And one of the things that I've learned over very much ups and downs in my life. And, Kristen and I talk about it often where, our lives, say our love lives we're not obviously perfect for us to be.
They never are.
Second marriage, she was, I'll say it like this. She was now remarried at 38.
Okay.
She's now 39 a few weeks later.
The charcuterie board makes up for it.
No, I say it as like late 30s. I call it mid 40s. I'm 44. I turned 45 in October.
You've been 44 for the past 5 to 10 years, if I recall.
There's.
Are you flexing on me?
Medical advancements have really helped the
Benjamin Button
anti-aging things.
No,
but I think it's something that we feel fortunate we met when we did, based on what we went through in life, because now I think part of our success, and it's still obviously early in the marriage, but it's like we've had the tough conversations over the last 3 to 4 years. We've had problems. We've had the I wouldn't say as like many like full blown like just blow up arguments.
Well, the night is young.
Yeah. Charcuterie board's great though, isn't it?
Rivalry will get you everywhere.
No, I'm just saying it's something that we're able to, when you're able to talk to a
communication
significant other, not even communication, you're able to communicate about communication. That's where I feel like there is another level of it. When you can recognize that, whether it be your significant other, whether it be in a professional standpoint, or it's like when you cannot just talk to other people about it, when you cannot enjoy that. They can see you eating. You went with the quiet food up there. I noticed.
I do audio on this podcast. I never do the visual.
You don't want to hear the crunch. No, I think it's something where if you can actually talk to the person about like what I want from my communicate, like what I feel what we might be missing is that we should be able to communicate about something that is possibly becoming slowly a bigger issue about how we want to communicate about it, which I don't think a lot of people do that. They sometimes continue down the path of a lack of successful communication because they're expressing themselves, but then it's like both parties walk away from that conversation or whatever the moment is, and then when it comes back, it's the same thing. When it comes back, it's the same thing. It's like it's talking about how do we want to address this when it comes up? How do we resolve this and move beyond? Because I am a lot of times hey, I fixed it. Like, why are we still doing it? But it's one of those things is like, obviously there is a missing point of, yeah, you may have fixed the situation, but we're not communicating about what caused the situation or why these types of situations may be coming up. And I think you guys went through the ringer, obviously, with Leo and everything else with this. And it's, you read the Carrying Bridge post, talk to you guys. I'd like to guess that there wasn't a whole lot of heated moments, but it wasn't all smooth.
Yeah, there's definitely heated moments.
Real people.
But when we've obviously had failed relationships, but when we decided to both of us be like, hey, we want to get married again and we want to spend the rest of our life with our partners, and you want to get it right this time. We're not in it for the next week. We're not in it for next weekend. And I don't want to make her feel bad.
Never.
But if I win the argument, that's not a win for me.
Being right isn't always the only thing.
I've never understood the happy wife, happy life thing. Never understood that until you realize that. And, the people that have married, Sean was on the podcast, listened to his podcast, earlier this week, 14 years, something along those lines, 20 years, Jesus, Nate, well over a decade, but people, a lot of the people that listen to the podcast, 10, 15, 20, 25, marriage, they've been through us, and, we got nothing on them when we're learning, but, to not be right and to be okay with it, and also to try to get out of to fix it quickly and to not let it linger. I'm not talking about just don't go to bed angry and stuff like that, but you got an issue. Let's make this argument last 5-10 minutes versus 5-10 days. And neither one of us is happy and, doing that. But, being an adult, I think, is sacrificing yourself for the other people in your life, and not sacrificing in a bad way, but just realize like, hey man, I got to get out of myself. But if I make the other person and, make my kid happy, then I'm going to have a happier life.
Yeah.
It's like we got some people saying some things.
Yeah, we do. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Sorry, I'm looking them up here.
You good?
I want to bring up Brian Jones. He put a comment up there, and I think it's something that's he's doing a lot of things too. He's 41, first time in his life, never felt more like an adult as he does now. Has a full-time job, or I have a full-time job, girl dad ×4. So he's got 4 girls, married to my wife, and of 11 years this Saturday. And let's not forget, my wife and I just opened a business which involves his daughters. Actually, it's like a dance studio. He's in Illinois. I forget the city. It's not Chicago, but it's something where.
Are there other cities in?
They have a few.
Okay.
No, but Ryan's a great guy. He's been a loyal listener to the podcast, and he just has these experiences, and he shares a lot of it. Sometimes on the Bourbon and BS community page, But it's interesting to see that. It's like, he's been married now for 11 years, and in every step of that journey beyond just his first 30 years is the fact that now, 4 girls, he's got a job, and now he's opening this business. It's always another step, another part of the puzzle. And sometimes when I look at some people that I have respected as mentors, or you look at their lives, they've been successful in your mind as a person, like professional, and then obviously they're happily married, they have kids, they have
a lot of
grandkids, all
different
stuff.
ways.
It's like amazing. There's never a scenario that they haven't lost their shit at some point.
Sure,
that's part of being an adult. But I think that working through that, expressing that is the most impactful part of when you are starting to lose it. You're starting to feel like you're not yourself. You're starting to feel like that. And a lot of times it's easy to just kind of cut and run, in a sense, but it's just going to resurface. The same thing I was talking about. You can't, like, if you're not trying to address what the problem is and how to address it and how you handle things, it's just going to keep happening. It's the same thing over and over again. And it could be with different people. It could be with different job. It could be with something, but it's going to keep repeating itself. It's not necessarily fixing yourself. Part of being an adult is not blaming yourself, not blaming other people. I think it's about accepting that different situations and different people in your life handle things differently.
Handling things differently is key, because we're not going to necessarily change ourselves or change the other person, but how we handle the situations differently can lead to dramatically different outcomes.
Which brought you to where you are today with Jen and Leo now at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of those things. It's like Ray commented, Ray Cheshire, who's listening now. He said, "You said
Wilk?
Jacob W on YouTube, maybe." We'll bring that up. I don't know what it says. I can't read that far. You said you've not had a perfect life because of failed relationships, etc. Who's to say that this is not perfect? I would say that the vast majority have had failed relationships. What's wrong with failed relationships? I think it's a good point. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying that,
hopefully you learn from the failed.
You learn from it.
Not as a failure, but you learn from the different relationships that you've had.
And neither of us, no one out there is a judge of what is a failure in life versus something else.
I will judge that.
But I mean, if you are, so I'm not going to get too far down this, but it's it's like my brother and I are very different. We were talking about that before the podcast. My brother and I are very different. He has been married to basically his first girlfriend that he met in college, and they seem to have a very happy life. They've been married now for 20 plus years. They have 2 kids. My niece is 21. She's in college. My nephew's 14. Like, great kids, great life. They've done the 2 kids, 2 dogs. They have a cat. Fence.
Picket white fence?
It's not picket. It's
I
didn't want to say. It's nice.
Nice. Western.
It's nice. But no, their path is very different than my path, and so sometimes he and I don't really see eye to eye. We've never been super buddy close, but I respect his path as long as he's happy with it.
Sure.
And I would hope the same. And I think that's an example of you and I we've had actually a lot of similarities in our lives. And maybe that's one of the reasons we get along so well, that we have had different yet similar life experiences in a lot of ways. But it's just, there's no right way to do it. But I would say if you never progress, you never hopefully move forward, so that with you and Jen, me and Kristen, with your career, with my job, you have a more steady path in a way that you're happy with, versus, not saying this is my brother, not singling out a certain person, but I know several people that, they say things, you hope they're joking, but it's like they've been married for 40 years, they've got kids and grandkids, and they just can't wait to get out of the house and get away from everyone. You're like, I don't know if that's the success that I would want.
It's okay.
You know what I mean? Like
It's okay. It doesn't have to be.
Everyone's different.
And also you can't control other people's lives.
Right.
Like
that's a big aspect of it too.
Yeah. I mean, when you're kind of when we were isolated, obviously for, you know, a handful of months, you know, we realized that life goes on with everybody.
I forgot you were around.
It's
good to see you.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
Hey, I heard you. I just saw you back.
I meant to text a different Spencer.
But I think what we've learned is that you definitely can't control other people's past in life.
Yeah.
Because we can't control ours.
No.
You can't. As much as you know, you try to control every aspect of your life, you just can't.
No.
Shit's just going to come up that you don't even think about is going to come up. Whatever problems you think you're going to have, they're just going to be different than what you thought that the problems would be.
Mm-hmm.
But all you can control is, and you can't control what goes on with your life, but you can control your reaction to it.
The best you can, yeah.
The best you can. So when shit hits the fan, how do you control the uncontrollable? How do you, we are going to lose your shit. I lost my shit. She lost her shit. Everyone loses their shit for a variety of different things.
Right.
But how you handle that and how quickly you can get back on track, or at least the partner knows that you're off your track. Can they bring you back? In our short life together is the key to success, is the key to the next day, is the key to happiness. I always hate the word happiness, you know, hate the word content, just because, you know, we're hoping for moments and we're hoping for that. But as long as you're moving forward, I think that's the best way to handle it, no matter which way it goes.
Yeah. The little wins make the big win, right?
Little wins make the big wins.
Yeah. Being an adult, you know, with this being a topic here, first of all, I'm super happy that clearly you guys are at this moment where you're home. Leo is healthy and continually getting stronger, and and obviously you and Jen are good. Jen's healthy. Like there's so many things that you never want to talk about, and thankfully right now, you know, in your life, everyone's healthy, happy. I know what you said about happy, but
no,
it's like,
I
this is something where it's you got to enjoy those moments. And I'm not here to complain, but I mean, I am tired of like what I said about the people that it's too sunny out. It's the same thing over and over again. It's not that anything has happened. Like from the outside looking in, it's good. And you talk to them and they're just in a bad mood, fairly consistently. And you talk to them, you're like, well, no, it's not, I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's pretty, you know, this is good, this is good, this is good. I'm like, so what's bad? Are you bored? I think as you get older, it's the same.
Energy givers, energy suckers.
Yeah. When the newness wears off, when you get older, it's the same. It's the same thing. Like we can't, you know, you and I, people out there, you can't eat the same things you ate when you were younger. You can't have the same lifestyle habits that you had when you were younger and still your body and your mind responds the same way. We're both in our 40s, so I know we have older listeners out there as well.
Early 40s.
You're early mid 40s,
closer to 43.
It's just acknowledging that, you know, you need to keep working on yourself in every way so that you can keep enjoying those things. And the communication is a big part of it, but it's like you have to be your own home base so that you can be a strong partner, you can be a strong employee, a business owner, like to your customers, all of these things. It's easy to say, it's easy to talk about, and yet it's missed by so many. And sometimes it literally is boredom. You say you don't need any excitement in your life. You're content, like you said. Content is not always a bad thing as long as that's what you acknowledge that you want. It's, I don't know. I think this topic with you and your life, with me and my life, like we're at a point where we have a lot of like new things going on.
Oh yeah.
So everyone from the outside, like, oh, that must be exciting and fun. Just wait. Have you ever when you got married to Jen here? They're like, oh, well, like, yeah, it's good now, but do you have anyone in your life that does that?
I mean, you said that to me a lot. Like
No.
several. You're like, oh, we're going to wait to see how you guys go.
Talk to me in 5 years, man. No, I never. But
I mean, yeah, but
I get that, and it's always in a joking manner. I'm like, I hope you don't really feel like that with your life. Like, no one is making you do any of these things.
I've learned you're in a tougher situation because you don't have the option of controlling who comes in and out of your day-to-day
job. Yeah. You're right.
Day-to-day job, day-to-day life. And that's where you spend, 8-10 hours of your day every day.
Sure.
So it's a little different, but I would just try not to spend your mental energy on those types of people, because
I don't anymore.
You got to help yourself.
I don't anymore.
No one else is going to help. It's good to have a support system, which is the best thing in the world. If you have a support system,
sure.
Her parents, they came down, they stayed, they got an Airbnb for 4 months. So we did have that support, but to control someone else's happiness, to control what they post on social media, to control how they handle their lives. It's that one podcast is like, just let them, right?
Oh, Kristen loves that lady.
Yeah, it's
loves that, the book and everything.
Let them do their thing. You do your thing.
That wears you down too, though. Sometimes.
Oh, everything will wear you down. It's just how much effort you put into it, and we're obviously don't have this thing wrapped up. Obviously, haven't figured anything out. We're in a whole new journey on a variety of different levels, but to control the controllables, to realize that 95% of this life is out of your control.
Sure.
And just to roll with it versus fighting the rules, for me, has helped me tremendously over these past few months.
I like that a lot.
I feel like we got some people chatting a little bit.
We do. We had Brian.
Did Jake say something? Wilk?
Communication without filtering what you mean. And
great picture, by the way, Wilk.
It's very professional.
Very professional.
All right. So communication without filtering what you mean and what you want as an outcome in your closest relationships lay the foundation to get through the toughest of times together. It's very well said.
Very well said.
Very well said.
I agree in the vulnerability part of it, which as men is tough to be vulnerable. But
Sure.
I think that if you can be vulnerable, I was a little nervous about coming on this just because, we've been through some shit here the past few months.
You and me?
No, me and you are fine.
Oh, cool.
But just in general, to be vulnerable, I think, and you, oh my God, I was listening to or watched Mark Maron's comedy special, and he's done a podcast for, I don't know, 3,000 episodes, something like that.
Yeah.
But he interviews people, but he basically also shares his life on it.
Sure.
But to have that vulnerability makes people know you, and also opens up stuff about them because they feel safer knowing that, hey, he or she is willing to be vulnerable. So in our relationship, it will bring you closer to being more vulnerable to someone else, and they will be more vulnerable to you, and you will bring a deeper connection between people.
It's putting yourself out there. I mean, even on a more surface level, talking about like, I can't control who comes into the shop where I work, full time. It's interesting. You put it out there. They say something. They're going somewhere. They're, I'm buying cigars. I'm heading out. Oh, where are you headed? That question alone. You don't have to ask it. And they say, oh, I'm going to so-and-so. I was like, oh, I've never been there, but I know someone. Like, and if I never like lie, but it's almost amazing how often when like, yeah, I'm heading to X place. I'm like, oh, I know just went there. They said this is so great. And like, oh yeah, we're looking forward to that. And then when they come back in, it's that kind of thing. Hey, what are you up to today? I'm working on the house. I got this going on. I was like, yeah, man, I same thing. Like I've got this going on. We just bought a house, and we got the deck is probably on the the horizon and all that stuff. Like, oh, I did my deck, it's a pain. Like, and you start just having these it's small talk, but it's personal. It's not
Personal.
It's not, there is no real, I don't have these conversations so that I can sell more product or any of that stuff. It's simply, you're very good at it, Spencer, as well. So anyone knows Spencer has watched any of the podcasts he's been on, it's asking questions so that not to just inflate their sense of well-being. It's simply like you ask them a question and it's like, if you don't have anything to say, you can ask another question. Like, oh, how is that? Like, I've never been through that or whatever. It's like that people, majority of people want to express what they're going through on a daily basis.
Yes.
But they don't have that interaction with other people in their lives
Physically as much anymore,
Right.
to have a physical, I listen to other podcast. What do you enjoy about the cigar? You guys had
Right.
that conversation. It was, you're forced to sit and you're forced to talk, not in a bad way, but it hasn't happened yet where you are sitting, having a cigar, sitting with loved ones, sitting with friends, and it is a pleasant experience because you're forced to communicate, you're forced to have physical interactions with somebody.
No one's making you be there, right? You
Right.
chose it.
But, in our new stage in life, when I was talking to customers, business, things like that, I wanted to really keep business and personal very separate.
Especially given the circumstances.
Right.
Very
But
touchy
now
times. Yeah.
I have stuff in common with people, hey, I'm married. Okay. A lot of people can relate to that, relate to being married.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a kid now. A lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people can relate to, oh, I knew this person that had a kid that was born, but if you share, it doesn't be oversharing. It can be,
Yeah.
but you're sharing something with somebody else. They will share something with you, and that will be a better interaction in general with that person. And it'll make a more fulfilling moment of time for you.
Yeah. Off of that, as we round out this conversation, I think it's healthier to just, with no real stake, nothing's at stake when you have a conversation with someone like that.
No,
there's really not. Yeah. You don't want to be that overbearing person where it's just like, if every time, someone asks you how's it going,
good,
and you say good, it's fine. But if you basically said everything that Jen wrote in that Carrying Bridge thing, people they might be really into it. Certain people are like, I need to know what's going on. Other people are like, every time I talk to them, it's just 10 minutes of this. It can be overbearing to people that don't care. You're very good at it, like I said, of it's not just small talk, it's just conversation. Very conversational. You're both given, you're both in that situation. You both have separate lives, whatever it is, whether you know the person, you don't know the person, but it's just talking to someone, picking up social cues. If they don't want to talk about it, that's fine, but I've had, and you work with different customers, I have different customers. I think that's something that I've learned over the period of my career, different careers, that even when things are good, that is the best time to catch someone. They normally will say, yeah, everything's good. It's like, oh, what are you up to today? That's me small talking the cigar shop and people coming in. I'm running some errands and all, I gotta mow my lawn. I gotta do that. I'm like, yeah, man, it was nice to just mow my lawn and not have clippings because it wasn't wet.
Do you like mowing your lawn?
It's okay.
Okay.
I feel fortunate to have a lawn to mow.
Podcast or music?
I have listened to less podcasts, more music lately.
So just to zone out and just.
But as soon as I run out of the music and I get tired of the music, it keeps popping up. Then I go back to a podcast.
Got it.
And that's something too. You share that stuff. I may annoy people when I make the small talk in the shop, but it's one of those things. The next time they come in, they usually be talking about the house or whatever. So what's going on with the house? It's they
They know you a little
invested.
bit.
If they
Yeah.
didn't have any investment, if they're not enjoying that, I would like to think they're not just doing it to like pass that time of the interaction and the transaction. It's more of when they come in, there's more buy-in. They're buying from someone that they know. They come in. There's a community sense to it. There's identity to it. There's not just me being like, all right, have a nice day.
Not just point a click in and buying it online.
Just when you're in a situation, I'm not saying everyone has to be outgoing, but just be present. I think that's the biggest part about being an adult. And that's going to be my closing comments here is being an adult is being present in every aspect of it. Kristen and I don't have any kids. You guys now have a child.
That you know of.
I'm pretty confident that we don't have any kids in the mix. Although Tony is basically our child.
Tony.
But being present in your day-to-day life is, I would say, the first and foremost, most important part of being an adult. Do not just be present in a sense that you're there physically. You have to be there. It's your job. You have to be there. It's your family. You have to be there because maybe your significant other brought you along to a social event that you really didn't want to go to. When you're there, be there actively. I think
I love that. You never said that before. That's a good point. I've never even heard you say it.
Being actively present in the situations that you find yourself in, even if you didn't seek out that moment, is the most important part of being a person, especially being an adult. You have the ability, even if you suffer from, and I'm not an expert on this, suffer from depression, anxiety, any of these things, actively seek out help on those things so that when you are feeling these ways, figure out a way to hopefully get that push from someone. Hopefully even you can push yourself to admit that there is an issue, admit that you don't like doing something, you don't like that. But when you're in those situations, to the very even minimal things, be active in the moment and say that. I used to go to Chamber of Commerce and social networking things for my last career, and I was not good at it. I was fine at it, but it's like I went into those things and I like have like the clammy hands. I would just kind of just be stressed going into it. I didn't want to be there. It was part of the job, and I got to the point where I'm like, I have to be here, so I'm going to be there.
Might as well make the best of your time. You're there.
Yeah, and it's like I can either be miserable the whole time, or I can kind of be there and try to put a good face on. And it didn't take a long time for me to not stress about it anymore. It was the point where I was like, that was a good experience. I went away from it. I was like, well, this person seemed interested because I actually was actively there. You can tell when you look around a room of people in an event or in a situation of the people that don't want to be there or they don't feel comfortable and they're just there
wasting their time.
And it's so that's what I'll leave it at. What I said. When you are there, don't just be present, be actively present.
Like that.
Be an adult. Spencer.
Are we doing closing remarks?
You are.
Are you not?
I just did.
That was not closing remarks.
It was.
I've never heard you go first. You go last. All right.
Well, you've never been a co-host before.
Closing remarks. Be an adult. So it just kind of happens.
In your case, yes.
Well, yeah, but it just kind of happens. Yeah. You know, you said you're an adult when you're in college. True. You're kind of an adult.
Felt like I was.
Felt like an adult, you know.
That means
felt like an adult when you're out of it. Now all of a sudden you got, you know, a house, you know, you got a mortgage, you got insurance, you got trusts, you got wills, you got all the other stuff that goes along with being an adult. And the way I look at it is other people have done it that have less financial stability than us, that have less intellectual abilities than us, that have far worse circumstances. And, you know, I know we said it before, but it just kind of happens, and you just do it. You just suck it up and don't do it. I know we've talked about like embracing the suck before and things like that.
We have, yeah.
And life goes the ups and downs. It just does. And what you think is going to happen, it's always going to be something else. But to be an adult, it's fun. It's a fun journey. If we're lucky,
It can be fun.
it can be fun. Jennifer was the first person that told me like the point of life is to have fun. And to be happy. I never thought about that. She's like, what do you mean you never thought about it? I go, I don't know. I never thought the point of life was to be happy. I never thought the point of life was to have fun, to enjoy it. Like, it's nice, but I never thought that was like the goal. But when you can rewire your brain, which we all have the ability to rewire our brains and to change the way that we look at life, to change the way that we view situations. If you can go through the shit when the shit happens, whatever it is, and we all go through different stuff, to do it, you will become stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And to embrace the great things about being an adult. We're in the third garage. We're in a beautiful home. Life is good.
Yeah.
Life does have its not so goods, but to embrace the good in life and to embrace being an adult, it's going to be a hell of a journey. We got 60 years left of this, if we're lucky. Not 60, a hard 10. A hard 10.
60.
With technology and all that stuff.
Like I said, supplements and modern science.
Enjoy being an adult, and to realize that you're not kidding, to realize you got responsibilities, and to embrace them versus to run away from them. When we have gone through breakups and things like that, we've said, hey, I'm going to cut that person out of life.
Yeah.
But when you're married,
yeah,
when you got a kid, when you're got responsibilities, you can't run away from it.
Right.
And to just do it and do it to your best, and to, lead life by example. You have been vulnerable on this podcast for, close to 350 episodes. Mm-hmm. People know you, and to embrace the stage of life that you're in, and to realize that, the next time we do this podcast, we're going to be in a totally different stage of life, and it'll be good. But humanity is good. Life is good. And to also, enjoy a smoke with your friends, and to enjoy a drink, or just enjoy time well spent. But the person to person interaction of being an adult is a very cool thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very positive, very impactful. And Jen's words to you, very powerful.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool.
I like that. Guys, happy Whiskey Wednesday. Spencer, thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having me, dude.
See you next week then.
Same time, same place.
All of you guys, cheers. Happy Whiskey Wednesday. And cheers to you.
Cheers, boy.
Cheers to baby Leo and proud mama and papa.
Proud mama and papa.
You're going to be dad, daddy, papa.
Zaddy, I believe was what my friends are calling me.
I don't know what that means.
She calls me daddy. Poppy every now and then.
I don't think
Not around Leo, but.
Sorry I asked. Guys, cheers. We will see you next week. We got Jeremy from McAuliffe on next week. Nate will be back in the garage, and we'll be smoking something new from McAuliffe. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Enjoy your week. Cheers.
Cheers.